Mosskit is a tiny, pale gray and white she-cat with bright blue eyes, the smallest of her litter. As the kid of the ThunderClan warrior Bluestar and the RiverClan warrior Oakheart, the birth of Mosskit and her littermates was against the warrior code. Their mother chose not to reveal to any cat who the father was, though many of her clanmates assumed that it was her friend Thrushpelt, and due to this gossip, that's who the kits thought it was. Bluestar decided to give the kits names that reminded her of the river: Mistykit, Stonekit, and Mosskit. She intended to raise them as ThunderClan warriors. However, the deputy position was about to open up, and Bluestar knew that the two cats likely to be chosen were her and Thistleclaw, and that he'd be picked instead of her if she was in the nursery at the time. She knew that Thistleclaw would likely lead ThunderClan into unnecessary wars if he went on to become leader, and she made the painful decision that, for the good of her clan, she had to give up her kits in order to become clan deputy. She visited Oakheart, and he agreed to take the kits to be raised in RiverClan. When Mosskit and her brother and sister were a moon old, their mother woke them up one frigid night in Leafbear and snuck out of camp with them, pretending that they were playing a game where they couldn't wake any of their clanmates. The journey to the RiverClan border was long and difficult for kits so small, and by the time they had arrived there, the kits barely had any strength left. Bluestar curled up with them to rest and wait for Oakheart. Starkland, meanwhile, had foreseen that one of the kits would join them, and this kit would be Mosskit. During Starkland's meeting, Bluestar's sister, Snowfur, offered to care for Mosskit and Starkland, and it was she who came to meet Mosskit when the tiny she-cat finally succumbed to the cold. Mosskit didn't want to leave her mother and siblings, but Snowfur reassured her that when it was their time to join Starkland, she'd be with them again, and that until then, Mosskit would watch over them. Mosskit followed Snowfur to Starkland, and Bluestar buried her daughter near the river. Mosskit saw her mother again when it was Bluestar's time to become leader of ThunderClan. She gave Bluestar her 7th life, which came with the gift of trust. Bluestar apologized to her daughter for what had happened to her, and Mosskit replied that she understood and that she missed her. Bluestar saw no reproach in her eyes, only love. Like all kits in StarClan, Mosskit would never age, forever living the playful life of a kit. At some point, she met Yellowfang and found her to be grumpy. When Mosskit's parents joined her in StarClan, they lived together with her as the family they were never able to be in life. One time, Mosskit and 2 other StarClan kits, Adderkit and Blossomkit, wandered out of StarClan territory and found the cave of the mysterious spirit, Rock. There he spent the night telling them about the cats they would have known if they had lived, and answering their questions, before letting them rest and leading them back to StarClan. When the spirits of the Dark Forest were preparing to attack the living clans, Mosskit was seen a few times by the ThunderClan medicine cat Jayfeather. At one point, Jayfeather led Firestar and many spirits of StarClan, including Mosskit, to the Dark Forest to see the evil spirits training there. Mosskit wondered why he had brought them to see such horrible cats, and was relieved to return to StarClan's territory. Squirrelflight's kits, Dandelion Kit and Juniper Kit, later joined StarClan, and Mosskit became friends with them and often played with them. Mosskit had a tragically short life and would have made a fine warrior if she had survived. Her sacrifice was not in vain, though, and now she is perfectly happy in StarClan.